Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking some downpours as well as some heat and humidity that's going to be lasting through much of the week. But we're starting off this morning mostly quiet. We have a few clouds out there. It's been a beautiful morning. We're going to see some higher rain chances heading into Monday, all thanks to these ridge running storms that are just going to be moving in across southeast Texas. And then drier and hotter conditions for the middle of the week as high pressure system will start building in across Texas, bringing back the upper 90s. Feels like temps still, of course, are going to be in the triple digits. But looking at those air temps right now, if you are heading out the door, 81 at Bush Airport, 81 at Sugarland, Conroe 76. We're also looking at somewhat drier conditions this morning, but just keep in mind that we are also going to be seeing the potential for maybe a shower or two to move through the Houston area by later today between 3 and 5 p.m. So looking at the rain chances for today, it's looking more likely that around maybe noon to 3 p.m. is when we could see those downpours. But if you are traveling across the state, it's going to be mostly quiet for central and North Texas. It's also going to be sweltering and hot. Highs in the hundreds in San Antonio. Austin 99, Rio Grande Valley at 100 degrees, as well as the potential for just quiet conditions. Might see a storm or two along the coastal areas if you're heading down to Brownsville or Harlingen. But we're also looking at a stationary frontal boundary that's draped across southeast Texas that is still causing some showers that are just offshore. And so as we look also to the north of us, this is in the Panhandle and portions of North Texas, you're seeing some strong storms and some heavy rain. It's very well possible for this time of year that we get these ridge running storms that usually like to remain strong, and it could really survive. And it's very well possible that we could see this make it into southeast Texas within the next 12 to 18 hours. So something that we're also tracking to the north of us. I think that once we lose that daytime heating, we are going to see these probably weaken. But other than that, we are also looking at that sea breeze front that moves inland that could bring those offshore showers and storms into the Houston area by later today, going into around the hours, maybe 2-3 p.m. is when we could see more of those downpours start flaring up in some locations. So I don't think everybody's going to receive rain, but if you do receive those showers and maybe an isolated storm or two, you might also look at some cooler temperatures across the area. So isolated rain chances for today, not as widespread as what we saw yesterday, but as we look at tomorrow into Monday, we are going to see another round of showers and storms moving in from the north. That very well could be that disturbance that's currently out in the Panhandle going into the next few hours. We are expecting just to be mostly quiet, but like I said, more rain chances for Monday. Might see between an inch and a half of rainfall by Monday, but then by the next week, we're expecting to see high pressure system building in across Texas, higher temperatures as well as drier conditions. We're going to see those rain chances become a bit more, even more isolated in nature by the end of the week, but highs are going to be in the upper 90s by the afternoon hours. And so triple digit temps for areas out towards the west. We are also looking at the heat and the humidity across the area, but we're also going to be looking at the feels like temps ranging between 101 to 103 degrees across southeast Texas as we go into the next few hours. So as far as the tropics, we're also looking at two areas that we're tracking in the Atlantic Basin. There is an area just off the coast of North and South Carolina that has a 40% chance of development in the next 2 days. Also, a tropical wave moving off the coast of Africa has a 20% chance of development. So things are mostly going to be quiet for the Gulf. We're not expecting these systems to impact us at least for the next 7 days. I think they're just going to remain in the Atlantic. This one right here off the coast, the east coast U.S., that's going to very well move off towards the northeast, eventually moving into cooler waters, but that's something we're tracking, and this is a sign that our tropics are waking up a bit. So looking at the next 7 days, highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s, isolated storms expected for today. We do have another chance of showers and storms for tomorrow, but we are also looking at the potential for more heavy downpours by Monday afternoon. So as we look at the currents right now, we are starting off this morning with calm and quiet conditions. It is mostly sunny out there. Temps are going to start warming up into the 90s before you know it. So just be prepared to practice those heat safety measures. The live look right now, looking over the Galleria area from the KHOU 11 building on top of our building. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies for some of us. A lot of us are looking at some sunshine this morning, but that sun is just only going to heat us up as we head into those afternoon hours. So more sun today. We do have the possibility for some more storm activity, but higher rain chances for Monday. as we go into those afternoon hours, and then drier and hotter conditions for the middle of the week. And temps are starting off in the 80s already as we're looking at mostly clear skies, especially off across the Texas Medical Center. It's the live look at Herman Park right now. I think it's pretty much good for a run, even though winds are pretty calm. I think it's still humid out there. Usually we get these breezy conditions in the later hours. I think if you're heading out for that outdoor exercise, I think 7 o'clock hour is the best place or the best time to do those outdoor exercises or outdoor activities, because usually that's when the storm chances go down, and we also have a little bit of a breeze that happens in the later evening hours. So as far as your Sunday, we are expecting highs in the 90s. We have another round of showers possible as we head into the afternoon hours, but if you're heading back home or if you're leaving Houston for the week, we're going to be rather hot this afternoon. No storms expected for areas out towards the west unless you're heading down to the Rio Grande Valley. They're being influenced by the same sea breeze pattern that we're being influenced by down in South Texas, so we could see that same storm activity move inland for up and down the Texas coast as we head into the afternoon hours. And so looking right now, we are tracking some offshore showers and storms. We're also tracking this area of storms that are just moving into North Texas. There's a little bit of a special, I think that's a special weather statement for those storms, as they're actually racing southward towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So something that we're keeping an eye on for today. I don't think there's a severe risk with this as of now. It's very well possible that if you are heading out to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you could run into these storms and they could pack a bit of a punch, especially as we warm up through the day. But for us here across Houston, our main driving factor is what's happening just offshore. You're able to see some lightning already with the storms that are just off the coast of Freeport, and those are going to start moving inland as we head into later on today. I'd give it about a few hours, maybe between 2 and 3 p.m. is when we could start seeing these storms start moving inland, and that sea breeze front fueling that storm activity. And that's why you're seeing those downpours from Galveston to Lake City along 45. Houston really can't roll out another isolated downpour like we saw yesterday. We had some pretty widespread rain yesterday with lots of lightning with it, and I think it's not going to be as widespread as yesterday, but we very well could see those downpours cause some wet roadways and some lower visibility as we head closer towards the 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. hours. And eventually by 6, 7 p.m., that's when conditions will start quieting down. We're going to have mostly a muggy, clear, quiet night, and that's going to be the case for tonight. And then tomorrow, another round of storms possible. We still are being influenced by that high pressure that's currently to the west of us. So usually when we look at the big picture here, we have highs that are currently off to the west. Usually you get ridge running storm activity around those highs that usually can make it into southeast Texas. However, going into Monday afternoon and Tuesday, the center of that high is going to start moving in closer towards Texas and mostly it's going to dominate our weather pattern by bringing back hotter and drier conditions for the middle of the week. So it's just going to be, we're not going to see the rain chance as high as what we saw this weekend. We're just really going to have to pay attention to those hot temperatures with highs in the 90s, as well as sweltering temps, as well as the humidity causing the feels like temps to range between 101 to 102 degrees during those afternoon hours. So keep that in mind as well to practice those heat safety measures. I know we're heading back to school pretty soon. Make sure to tell the kids to stay hydrated, have them already starting to prepare to drink water as they head back to school, because I know waiting for the bus, especially during dismissal times, it's going to be hot out there as we go into those afternoon hours as the kids head back to school in a couple of weeks. So as far as the tropics, once again, 2 areas that we're looking at in the Atlantic, a wave off the coast of Africa, 20% chance, and then this wave that's just off the coast of North and South Carolina that has a 40% chance of development. And it's very well likely if this does form into something that's going to be heading off towards the northeast and not impacting the Gulf or southeast Texas, especially with these 2 systems here. So no threat, at least for us, for the next 7 days. As far as your 7-day forecast, highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. Another round of isolated downpours today. Rain chances could be a bit more higher tomorrow, all thanks to that ridge running storm activity. I know there's a lot of terminology that I'm throwing at you, but as we see that high that's currently to the west start building in back across Texas, that is going to bring back highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s, and just bring the return of sweltering conditions. And we could see more of that storm activity for the end of the work week. So just keep those umbrellas handy, as well as the water on standby for hydration, because we're going to be not only hot, humid, we're also going to have a chance for those summertime storms to once again cool us off, but keep conditions humid at least for the next 7 days. Of course, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your extended forecast here on KHOU 11+. Make sure to tune in later this afternoon. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin will once again bringing you weather updates on what to expect